Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Ask UE session, all about our postgraduate programs. Anything you need to know about postgraduate education at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, here is the time when you can ask all your questions and get everything clarified. Again, welcome to all of you who are joining us. I'm seeing all our attendees, or at least some of them who are joining in right now. Welcome to our Ask UE online session about postgraduate education. My name is Nataki Kerr, Manager of Brand and Student Recruitment Marketing at the University of the West Indies, and it is my pleasure to host and carry you all through the session we have this evening. This session is all about you and clearing up any questions, any queries. Maybe you want to find out about all our vast range of programs across all our faculties. And we have an esteemed panel here with us this evening who are going to take you through all these details. Again, you can use our chat room to ask all your questions. We also have a team in the background who are there eagerly awaiting your questions, and we are happy to answer any questions that you may have. For those of you who may not be able to stay for the entire session, don't worry. We are going to upload a recording of this session on our YouTube channel shortly. So you'll be able to look at it again, maybe see some things that you've missed, share it with a friend, all towards applying to go to the University of the West Indies to be with us from September 2025. Now, don't forget, our deadline date for applications is July 30th. So we want to make sure that you have everything ready. It's a go for you to sign up with us before or on July 30th. Today, our main speakers will be the Director of Graduate Studies and Research, Professor Duraisamy Saravanakumar, and also we have with us the Assistant Registrar out of the Office of Graduate Studies and Research, Mr. Arnold Maniram. They both will just be taking us through a couple of the key areas, and then we're going to open up the floor to all of your questions. We also have with us this evening several faculty representatives, so we are covered all throughout our faculties. We've covered all our bases. So if you have questions on any of our programs, we are able to answer. We have our representatives from the Faculty of Humanities and Education, Dr. Susan Burke. We have Dr. Emma Perot from our Faculty of Law, Dr. Shastri Mutilal from our Faculty of Medical Sciences, Dr. Kola Lewis Cameron, our Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor Bisham Ramlal, who is the Dean of Engineering. And we have with us also Dr. Shelby Nichols from the Faculty of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Wendy Ann Isaac from the Faculty of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Arlette Saintville from the Faculty of Food and Agriculture, and Professor Adish Ramsubag from our Faculty of Science and Technology. So I did mention that we have an esteemed panel with us this evening. So any question you have at all, our experts are here to respond, and we also have a team of experts waiting in the background for you and your questions. And you could start asking questions even while we are chatting, that's fine. We are going to answer them. So let's get right off to a rousing start, and I would like to ask Professor Sarah, as we call him fondly, that is Professor Duraisamy Saravanakumar, to just give us an overview of our graduate studies program. Prof. Sarah?
Thank you so much, Ms. Kerr. Respected deans, deputy deans, heads of the departments, and colleagues from the marketing and communications, and my own graduate studies and research, distinguished prospective students. My warm welcome and pleasant greetings to all of you for joining this virtual postgraduate information session. In my talk, I would like to raise two questions and give responses for those two questions for your thoughtful consideration in this session. The first one, why should an individual join the postgraduate program? In the context of changing national, regional, and global ecosystems, due to ever-growing chronic and acute challenges in the field of agri-food sector, climate change, occurrence of disasters and uncertainties, advent of communication technologies and artificial intelligence, there is a need for specialists to address and suggest a policy intervention and provide solutions for problems affecting health, education, social systems, humanities, law, and environmental sectors. Not only that, but also to research and provide a technological solution to the problem in science, health, and engineering fields, and to adapt technologies, implement automation and sustainability for businesses. According to Future of Jobs Report 2025 from the World Economic Forum, transformative trends in digital technology and artificial intelligence, economic situations, climate change mitigation, and changing geo-economic and geopolitical situations are going to greatly influence the businesses and determine the job market. To address these challenges in trends and businesses, the report says that skills such as analytical thinking, creative thinking, flexibility and agility, leadership, social influence, motivation and self-awareness, curiosity and lifelong learning, technological literacy and sustainability are going to be critical in successful running of businesses. The report further says that 6 in 10 workers need training either to upskill or reskill in the next 5 years to better perform in their jobs. Therefore, it is high time to consider joining a postgraduate program to equip you as the most suitable person for the position, be it a new job or be it a promotion. In addition, remember, postgraduate education will make you feel more confident in performing your professional duties. Refresh your ideas and kindle your deep thinking processes for research innovation. It helps to build networking with professionals, industries, and academia. I'm confident that those who are still contemplating whether to join the postgraduate program or not will make a decision today to join one of your favorite programs after this session. Now, my second question, why should it be at the University of the West Indies, and particularly the St. Augustine campus? My response is very simple. This is a student-centered campus, evidenced from the recent years of student surveys, where greater satisfaction was reported by the students for St. Augustine campus. St. Augustine campus is a premier leading institution in the delivery of postgraduate programs from 8 core faculties as mentioned by our chair of this evening. Faculty of Engineering, Food and Agriculture, Science and Technology, Engineering, Medical Sciences, Law, Social Sciences, Humanities and Education, Sports. With over 200 taught masters including postgraduate certificates, diplomas, and Master of Science, we aim to continue our legacy of building the human resource capacity at large to meet the current and future needs of the national, regional, and global demands. Most of our programs are blended to facilitate the job goers. We have programs in climate studies, artificial intelligence, data science, food security, tourism management, social work, international relations, gender studies, oil, energy and gas law, biotechnology, biodiversity, orthodontics, which is the first postgraduate program in dentistry in the region. I can go on and on and on about our programs. The uniqueness of the university and the campus is, if you ask for an expert in any discipline, I will be able to find an expert in our UWI community. I'm proud to say this, and this is the fourth A that we have for MPhil and PhD research degrees. I just highlight a few of our ongoing graduate student researchers. Recently, you would have seen in the news the impactful research done by one of our PhD students in geoscience, Kernis Ramjari, on evolving behavior of Piparu mud volcano, and her research involves in the development of an early warning system to safeguard the surrounding communities. Many of our graduate students have been placed regionally and internationally with their research degrees. With the polycystic ovary syndrome research, Dr. Stephanie Mohammed, after completion of her PhD in physics with biomedics research, she has been doing her postdoc in the University of Pennsylvania. And Dr. Trisha Lawrence with PhD in statistics has been doing her postdoc at the University of Calgary. Now, let me tell you, It is time to start the postgraduate program if you are feeling technologically outdated in the workplace. It is time to make a decision if you need upskilling and reskilling for better employment opportunities. It is time if you have lack of confidence in performing a job and uncertain about recent developments in your job area. It is time if you're feeling deficit in creative and analytical thinking in what you do. Similarly, if you want to address and suggest a policy intervention for problems affecting social, education, and environmental sectors, if you want to research and provide a technological solution to the problems affecting the region, if something is pressing in mind for so long to accomplish something in higher education, the time has come to join the postgraduate program. So I look forward for your application. If you haven't done so, we are here to guide, assist, and support you. Wishing you all the very best and best for your endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Sarah, for giving us a very comprehensive overview of what one can expect and how can a postgrad degree or postgraduate education help propel your career. We have several questions and we're off to a rousing start. And I'm seeing several questions in the chat. And as is usual, our team is answering all those questions that are coming in. But one of those questions I would like to highlight before we go on to Mr. Maniram. Someone did ask about grants and scholarships that are available for postgraduate education. And we were happy to provide a link where you can get more information on that because we do have such programs. So please click on the links, get all the information you need to get so that you can make the best decision possible, which is, of course, attending the University of the West Indies to do your postgraduate education. So let's get right in as we go to our second speaker, Mr. Arnold Maniram, who is the Assistant Registrar for Graduate Studies, and he's just going to take us through the applications process. So this is down to the nitty-gritty now. Turning you over to Mr. Maniram.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for taking the time to join us today. I know we are all eager to get your questions. Before we do that, I just want to run through quickly a bit of our application process, because I know persons may have burning questions on the application process. So we just want to spend some time running through our application process with you. So our application can be submitted by 3 easy steps. Step 1, create your account. Step 2, create and submit your application. And step 3, uploading your supplemental and supporting documents. So we'll go a bit further into each of these steps. So to create your account, you visit our website. The links are there shared. Don't be too worried about writing these down. It will be shared in the chat for you, as well as it will be sent to you after the session. So you visit our application portal and you begin to create your account. So to create your account, you sign up, verify your account. An email would be sent to you. You click on that email, verify your account, and then you start submitting a new applications. So persons may have submitted applications before, so you can use your previous account and you will see when you log in your previous application. All you need to do is click on create a new account and start the application process. So you click on create new account, select your area of interest, and you complete your online form. Once you've completed the online form, you preview the application form, ensuring that all your information included is accurate. Then you proceed to selecting a payment option. So we have 2 payment options that are available: online via credit card, or for TNT nationals, you can pay by direct deposit through Public Bank and upload a copy of the payment deposit slip. On the screen, you see the application processing fee for TNT nationals is $90 TT. Regional and international applicants is $204 TT or $30 US. Right, so step 3 is uploading your required supported documents. So after you've made the payment, you proceed to uploading the documents. So you visit the portal again, you upload the documents, as well as you will see on the screen to the right, you would see you requesting your references through the application portal. Right, so a list of our supporting documents for your application, your birth certificate, your CV, resume. If your name does not match your certificates or your transcript, you have to provide some documentation for us to verify. 2 references, as mentioned before, these are requested through the application portal. Any professional certificates or diploma that you may have, feel free to upload these for us as well. For MPhil, PhDs, and the MSc in Applied Psychology, a research proposal is required. So you may need to spend some time preparing that before you start the application. And official transcripts for persons who would not have studied at the UWI. You have to have these sent directly to us through PG transcripts from the university directly to us. Right, so once you follow those 3 steps, you would have completed your application, and you'd be encouraged to check your application portal for updates and for a decision. We also want to share with you that you can also contact the Office of Graduate Studies and Research if you have questions on how to apply. We will guide you on the application process. So our email address is postgrad@sta.uwi.edu. You could also reach us at 662-2002 and our extension number 83064, as well as you can contact us via live chat on our website from 8:30 to 4:30 Monday to Friday, and we have persons there always willing and able to answer your questions and to guide you with the application process. So we thank you again for taking this time to listen, and we do look forward to receiving your application so we can process and give you an offer as soon as possible.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maniram. I'm seeing we have several enthusiastic persons who are really, really serious about coming to the University of the West Indies, so we really can't wait to have them. I'm just going to call, well, actually, I would ask a couple of the questions I'm seeing here in the chat. Some persons have already said that they're really happy to get some of the information we're giving on scholarships and grants and the application process. But I have this question, and I'm hoping that one of my colleagues from the Faculty of Food and Agriculture could assist. In terms of 2 new programs, they are asking if it is, and this is Mavis's question, if these 2 new programs are ready to start in September 2025. That's the MPhil in Cocoa Science and the PhD in Cocoa Science. So I'm hoping that in terms of our Faculty of Food and Agriculture, maybe Dr. Isaac or Dr. Nichols can respond there.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm happy to announce that these 2 programs, they already started. We have had applicants in last year, I believe, and they will be available this September with the MPhil and the PhD in Cocoa Science. So if you have further information, I believe Dr. Arlette Senville, she put some further information there in the chat for Mavis.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Dr. Isaac.
In addition to that, I just wanted to inform that they can also communicate with Dr. Marisa Moses, as well as Professor Padmanathan Umagaran, who is the Director, Cocoa Research Center, and they would be able to provide the information. And of course, we have included that program in our list as well as in the central list. So those programs are not new programs, but we have been offering that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thanks much, guys. And folks, all of you all who are here, I'm seeing over 80 persons here this evening. Remember, look out in the chat for the various links that we're sending. We're sending links, we're sending phone numbers, we're sending all our information because we want to make it easy for you. We want to make this whole process easy for you. And you know what? You can just drop by and see us. We're here from 8:30 to 4:30 on the campus from Mondays to Fridays. And as Mr. Maniram said, we're really happy to have a customer service representative take you through all the steps. We're here to answer all your questions to make this whole process easier because we want you to join us on our beautiful campus. We have several other questions. I really have a wide range of questions, and they are all being answered in our chat. So don't be shy. Feel free to just jump in and ask us what you need to ask us. Someone is asking about campus tours available for those who are attending, and I would like to ask Ms. Jackman and the team to just put an email where you can check or where you can send an email and let us know if you're interested in a campus tour, and we will try and arrange that for you. Someone else was asking about persons interested in volunteerism and what kind of support we have for them. Someone else was asking about the MSc in Civil Engineering and the Faculty of Engineering. And I see that we've already responded there and sent a link for those of you who are interested in the MSc in Civil Engineering. Let's see what questions we can ask here. We have several. Someone was also asking about the references that we asked for, Mr. Maniram. They were asking about the academic references that we asked for, and they were saying that they were only able to contact one of their references, and they were asking how does it work if they only have one reference? Is there any advice you can give that person?
Sure, happy. So they can also request a reference from a professional person. So maybe their boss, supervisor. So if they're unable to get 2 academic references, we would usually accept a professional reference as well.
Okay, thank you. This question is for our team at FFA. For food science and technology, what research opportunities are there for food engineering or in food engineering? What research opportunities are there?
That question is actually for Professor Bisham from Faculty of Engineering.
Okay, great.
Yes, thank you. We do have a master's degree in food science and technology as part of the Department of Chemical and Process Engineering, but we also have MPhils and PhD in food science and technology. So that more than anything else, there are quite a few possibilities on how you can approach this. We often get funding from industry partners to support our students, especially our research students. Our teaching team has industrial experience, and they reach out. They have a network of persons, so for example, whether it's Johnson & Johnson or one of the other, industry partners, we tend to get funding to support our students as best as we can. We don't always get funding for everyone, but we certainly try to make sure that we support our students and support them well.
Thank you very much, Professor. Someone was asking about the information with regards to the program on earthquake loading on the structures in Trinidad. Is there anyone on the team who could provide information on that?
What is interesting is that would be part of the master's program in civil engineering. We have various experts who are focusing on structural engineering, and as part of the design of structures, you would look at various kinds of loading, in terms of load-bearing capacity of buildings, and also in terms of designing for earthquakes and for other types of disasters that may be out there that may affect our structures. So that again, based on your particular interest, you can either do a master's degree or do an MPhil and upgrade to PhD, where you focus your research on very specific types of areas of interest, and therefore you can become the resident expert looking at structures and earthquakes and so on.
Thanks very much, Prof. Sometimes we use terms like masters and MPhil, and we assume that everybody knows what these terms are. Mr. Maniram, can you just try to differentiate for our viewers and listeners in terms of what is an MPhil really, or what does it focus on, and what is a master's? Just differentiate for our team.
Sure. Our MPhils and PhD are research degrees, so it's designed for persons who are more interested in self-work and doing research. And our MSCs are more taught masters, so you have more classes that you have to attend exams to sit, but the MPhil PhD is more for research. I'm not sure if Prof. Sarah would like to add anything to this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Maniram. With respect to YUMPhil program, right, as you mentioned, it's a research degree, and the students, they have to complete 6 credit courses, right? And also they have to do the research project, or it's not a research project, it's a thesis, right? And they have to do the 2 seminars, where in case of YUMPhil and PhD, we would like the students to be an independent researcher and to produce the novel research information, right? With respect to master's program, that is actually the Master of Science, in any discipline, they have certain number of thought courses to complete, as well as the master's program will have a research project component where they have to complete that, right? So it varies from faculty to faculty, but in case of master's program, usually the credit requirements will be ranging from 36 to 44, or even up to 50 in some of the business administration programs. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Prof. That helps clarify it a little bit. I also have a question for one of our regional attendees who is asking, how long is the processing time for Cleopatra, so it's a she, for her to get her TNT student permit as a CARICOM national? So I'm not sure if anyone could advise Cleopatra with regards to what's the processing time, the length of the processing time for her to get a student permit as a CARICOM national. I believe she wants to come to the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, to do her.
Yeah, so I would advise the student, or else, the prospect, to communicate with the DSST, where Dr. Huggins, who is the person dealing with the immigration, and she would be able to provide that response to her. And of course, subsequent to this session, if she can send an email, then we will be able to guide her, right? And it again, depends on the number of applications and so many things with the immigration. And but the Division of Student Services and Development, they actually do an excellent job in communicating with the student. And even for the international students and the regional students, we have a program where the DSSD will make arrangements to receive them from the airport, as well as now our focus is also to get more regional and international students. We will be and we are planning more for have some sort of interactions and a lot of activities in consultation with the Students Guild, where we have the Postgraduate Student Guild representative as well. Thank you.
Thanks much, Prof. Macasey was asking, and I believe this question may go to Professor Bisham. Faced with AI integration and adaptations, what resources or programs or in the postgraduate realm are going to become available for growth and development in this arena?
That's an excellent question. And in fact, only last week, Thursday, the Faculty of Engineering, through our Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, took several proposals to be able to offer a postgraduate certificate, postgraduate diploma, a Master of Science degree in artificial intelligence. We are also going to be offering, it's in the pipeline, we have some final approvals to get, but an MPhil and PhD in artificial intelligence. In addition to that, we will be offering what are called CPEs, continuing professional education modules. So if you want to come and do a single module or do more modules, you can get 3 credits, or you can get a certificate and so on. But if you want to do research, you can do that as well. We are also as well, and I guess Professor Sarah would, if he'll allow me to say it, we are also getting the final approval to set up an AI Innovation Center. And through that center, we will do an interdisciplinary Master of Science or program, a master's degree program in artificial intelligence. So even if you come from a department or a discipline outside engineering, you can still do AI that will support what you do, whether it's education, whether it's music, whether it's, history. You want to be able to do a master's degree in artificial intelligence that will support you, we will have a program for you.
I could not have answered any better myself,
Yeah,
Prof.
that's okay. If you just allow me, I will also add that, right? In addition to the programs that we have, or else we are going to get it from the Faculty of Engineering, we also have a MSc Computer Science with a specialization in artificial intelligence from the Faculty of Science and Technology.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's really, really very helpful. And I would like to also ask those of you who are on board with us this evening, all 80-something of you, to join us on our social media platforms. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, because all the information about these new programs that we have coming up will be available. So you may not see it this week, but keep a lookout because you may see it next week, next couple of days. We always have all our information on our platforms, so it will be in your best interest to follow us on our various social media platforms. Keep checking the website because we are always a chock full of information. Yeah. So again, I'd like to remind everyone that the deadline date for applications, if you want to join us this year, September 2025, is July 30th. And I believe that's just 4 short weeks away. So now is the time. Don't doubt. Just according to Mr. Maniram, just join us on the website, click, and we have made the process as easy for you as possible. With regards to the MSc in Urban and Regional Planning, I have a question from Matilda, who is asking about the number of semesters that are needed to complete the program. So with regards to the MSc in Urban and Regional Planning, she is saying that she's heard it can usually be completed within 8 semesters. However, she is asking what is the least amount of semesters you need or you have to do to be able to complete the MSc in Urban and Regional Planning?
Well, that's a question for me. In the Faculty of Engineering, in the Department of Geomatics, Engineering, and Land Management, the MSc Urban and Regional Planning program, if you're doing it full-time, you should be able to finish all the taught courses in 2 semesters and then finish the thesis. Again, if you're full-time, it's supposed to be 6 months. So it should work out to be 9 and 6, just about 15 months to do it if you're doing full-time. Of course, that's with the assumption that you are doing a full load and getting through all your courses. The program, and like most other programs in the Faculty of Engineering, it requires quite a bit of investment of time to make sure that you are successful. But I've seen people finish their programs in quick turnaround time and get it done. And especially our foreign students, they come in, they put their heads down, they focus on what they have to do, they get it done, and then they are able to graduate and get out and go back home or go elsewhere, with the master's degree. You take 8 semesters if you are doing part-time. And some people would prefer that they spread it out because we try to facilitate working people as well. And a lot of professionals who come into the faculty want to work and study. And so we have facilitated that. We've made it more of an evening. It's not a evening university, but our courses are offered after 4 p.m. in the afternoon so that you can work and study as well. But then you want to go with a lighter load so that you'd be successful and you wouldn't struggle with the courses that you have to do.
Thanks very much, Prof. We have a question from Denisha, who would like to become a lecturer. So she would like to become just like our team here. She wants to become a lecturer and she's wondering what degree she needs to do. She wants to teach students who want to become teachers. So she wants to know what she would need to do in terms of a master's program to be a lecturer. Let's see which one of the team will be able to assist with this.
I can try that because I think that is probably Faculty of Education, Humanities and Education. Good afternoon. You would, of course, have to have a PhD or about to do your PhD in one of the core areas, either curriculum development. It depends on which area you would like to lecture in. but we know that the entry requirement to do to become a lecturer is a PhD or working towards a PhD. Yeah, in one of the core areas in education, in the School of Education. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Dr. Burke. And just as a reminder, because Mary was asking about the recording for this session, we usually take about 48 hours to upload the recording onto our YouTube channel. So you can check us out on Friday at the very latest Monday. And you'll be able to review the recording again, just to kind of get any bit of information that you may have missed. And also on our YouTube channel, we have several other sessions like these. So you may just find yourself being able to look at another session we may have had on a different program, a different topic, something that you may have been interested in. So you, as I said, you should always follow us on our socials, follow us on social media, on YouTube, because we have several of these information sessions where you can get additional information. Majesty was asking, where on campus can she come to ask about registering for a master's program? And that's Mr. Maniram's office. So he can just tell you again about the times. I believe he said before, Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Mr. Maniram?
Yes, good afternoon again. Yeah, so you can visit the Lloyd Bradford Student Administration Building. We are open from 8:30 to 4:30, as well as, as mentioned before, we have a live chat on our website. So you're free to have a conversation with us via live chat if you're not available to come visit us, but we are always willing. There's always persons at our front desk who would be happy to run through the application with you and provide that support to you.
Thanks very much, Mr. Maniram. And Rayan, you were asking about which office you have to go to if you need some help. That's Mr. Maniram's office, the same place he just told you at the Lloyd Bradford building on campus, 8:30 to 4:30. We are here, so you can just come on down, as we say, and we will be very happy to be able to assist. Maya was asking, speaking of becoming a lecturer at the University of the West Indies, do you need to take pedagogy classes and related courses from the school in order to qualify as well? Because she was wondering if there were any associated courses that she would have to do to become a lecturer at the University of the West Indies. I believe Dr. Burke just went through that, but I don't know if you want to share anything in addition for Maya.
Yes. Yes, and I'd like to say that we are all required to do a postgraduate course in teaching and learning, settle. So each lecturer is required to have that qualification. So that would be an additional thing that you do once you are in the system. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Dr. Burke. And I know that our team is seeing Vida's question because she's interested in doing an MPhil in dance. That's really interesting, Vida. So we will try to provide that information pretty soon. And please don't be worried, because remember, we will have a log of all these questions in the chat. We would go through it, assess them, and be able to send individual responses to those of you who may need a bit more attention. We are very committed to doing this right after the program in the next couple of days. Someone was asking about online and in-person classes. I'm seeing our team answering questions like those. So for those of you who just came in, don't forget we've been here for the last while, since about 5 o'clock. And there may be things that you may have missed in the chat. So feel free to scroll up, scroll down. You may have missed some links. And we are trying to give as much information as we can online. And just as a reminder, we are going to have a recording of this session on YouTube in a couple days. Someone was asking about the oncology nursing program that we are going to be offering. So if we have any information on the oncology nursing program that we'll be offering, we can share it with Desiree, who is asking that question. We also have another question here with regards to the PhD in business admin. How is the PhD in business admin different from a doctorate in business admin? Avion, I believe, was asking about the difference between the PhD in business admin and how is this PhD program different from a doctorate in...
I can take that.
Sure.
The PhD in business administration focuses primarily on engaging in research to contribute to the body of knowledge in a particular area of specialization, whether it be, for now, we currently have specializations in marketing and human resource management, whereas the Doctor of Business Administration, the focus is more so on solving a particular problem or addressing a particular issue in a context, whether it be in a firm or whether it be at the destination level, but it is more geared towards problem solving. So that's the main difference between the two in terms of focus. But both programs involve completing a number of courses as well as a thesis.
Okay, thanks very much, Dean Cameron. That really helps the prospect to understand. I'm seeing another question about the research proposal. So maybe Prof. Sarah could chime in here, but David is asking about the research proposal, and he says it seems very detailed. What will happen if you are unable to articulate your proposal as extensively as the document is requiring? Like, what kind of support do we give our students?
Great. So this can work in two ways, right? One is actually if the student has an idea and they can actually put it into the proposal, and based on the program that they wanted to research they can actually reach out to the faculties, either the head of the department or else the lecturers or the professors, whoever they know, based on their contact, and they can communicate their interests and they can indicate that this is my proposal, and if they want to discuss or else if they are interested in. That is one way of getting it started, right? But the other way is once they have an idea, even if it is not comprehensive enough, even if it is not full, right? And they can actually submit through their application. And when it is submitted to the Graduate Studies and Research, after all their requirements along with the application, the research proposal and their application will be sent to the departments, right? To the relevant departments. Then the head of the department will assign the expert in that area to look into the research proposal, and then the departments will communicate with the candidate to discuss the research proposal if that is not in quality or if something has to be improved. And based on the response and based on the willingness and based on the knowledge of that student, then the department will communicate their recommendation to the graduate studies. Then we will make a decision and we will inform the student. But basically, MPhil and PhD research, again, I'm saying that it should be an independent research, and the students or the candidates, they are required to do some background work by reviewing the literature as well as looking into the potential of the research problems. Then they can actually submit the proposals and their application. That's why I said it can work in two ways. We are ready to help, and we are happy to support in whatever way we can do. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much, Prof. Sarah. And my next question is for Dr. Peru from the Faculty of Law. Can you tell us a little bit about what type of postgraduate programs we have at the Faculty of Law?
Sure. So we offer the LLM, which is a master's in law, and you can either do a general master's or you can do a specialty. So in a general master's, you can choose from a variety of courses. The courses on offer depend on the year that you enroll. Usually courses, though, are finalized by July, so you can always contact the faculty to find out more about our courses. But in terms of our specializations, right now we offer intellectual property law. That's actually my area of expertise. So I lecture on intellectual property courses. We also have public law, we have corporate and commercial law, we have legislative drafting and a few other areas. So the LLM, it depends if you do it full-time or part-time. If you do it full-time, you can complete it in 1 year by taking 36 credits. So that will be 6 courses over the year. Or if you do it part-time, you can do it in 2 years. It's designed to be useful for people who are working, because the classes are usually in the evening, 5 to 7 or 7 to 9, depending on your schedule and which courses you choose, of course. And we also have the classes offered online. So you can actually choose courses from any of our campuses, whether it's being offered at St. Augustine, Cave Hill, or Mona, and you can take those synchronous online courses. Now, if you're unable to attend, don't worry, because we do have these courses recorded. So the classes, if you're not able to attend the live class, you can look at the recording. And all of our assessments and exams now take place online as well. So it's really convenient for people who are working, who want to go into some type of specialty.
Okay. Thanks so much, Dr. Prue, for that very comprehensive look at the Faculty of Law. And I will also like to ask my colleague, Professor Adish Ramsubag, to let us know a bit about what postgraduate programs are available at the Department of Life Sciences, or in his entire faculty, actually. That's the Faculty of Science and Technology.
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, so we do have a number of postgraduate programs, taught MScs and also MPhil and PhDs. And the main area of our expertise. So for instance, we have MSc in Biodiversity, Conservation and Sustainable Development. We have MSc in Biotechnology, Computer Science and Technology with specializations in different areas. Prof. Sarah mentioned about a specialization in artificial intelligence as well. We have MSc in Data Science, MSc in Mathematics, MSc in Statistics, MSc in Renewable Energy Technology as well. And more importantly, we also have MSc in Biomedical Physics. So those are the areas that we have MSc programs. And in addition, we have a range of different MPhil PhD programs, including biochemistry, biotechnology, chemistry, computer science, environmental biology, mathematics, microbiology, physics, plant science, renewable energy technology, statistics, and zoology.
Okay. That's quite a wide range.
A good lot.
Yes, a lot. So we can look out for some questions in the chat about those. But I would also like to ask Dr. Lewis Cameron, who is the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, to ask her to share a bit about what her more popular master's programs are, what she has on offer, because I know that they too have quite a few programs that some of you would be very, very happy to hear about.
So in the Faculty of Social Sciences, we have a range of programs for those interested in the area of leadership, innovation, and management. We do have a MSc in Strategic Leadership and Innovation. And this particular master's is fully online. There are no exams, so it's 100% coursework. And there's no thesis. You are required to do a capstone project, which would be based on your place of employment, or you can engage in an internship. So this is a master's with a difference. And then alongside that, we have the MSc in Management Studies, where you can specialize in either human resource management or marketing. Right? And then, of course, you have other areas in management, including aviation, sport, as well as tourism. And then outside of the management area, we do have master's programs in a range of the behavioral sciences, which would include criminology, social work, sociology, as well as psychology. Right? And then we also have masters in public sector management. So a range of areas for persons interested in the social sciences.
Okay, thanks so much. We also want to invite Dr. Shastri Motilal to let us know a bit about FMS. I know that your programs are a little different in terms of what master's programs you offer, but can you share with our listeners and our viewers a little bit about that?
Thank you. Thank you very much, moderator, and good evening all again. So our programs in FMS, probably the most popular postgraduate program we have in the Faculty of Medical Sciences is the Doctor of Medicine postgraduate program. And these programs are really pitched at practicing clinicians, medical practitioners, medical doctors who want to specialize, to become a pediatrician, to become a surgeon, to become an internist, to become a family physician like myself. Those are probably the more popular programs. Of course, they're intended for doctors, people who have already completed the MBBS degree. We also have a few MSCs, MSc in Public Health, MSc in Microbiology, and we also have MPhils and PhDs in what we call the basic clinical sciences, if people want to study anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. I noted a question in the chat about one of those MPhils and if the GPA is not quite up to the requirement. And I would encourage that person to still probably reach out and apply and contact someone from the department. But in a nutshell, those are our programs. We also have diplomas, a diploma in emergency medicine and in family medicine, which are quite popular as well.
Thanks so much for sharing. I would ask next for Dr. Arlette Saintville, to let us know a bit about your master's offering, because I know you have a slew. So just give us a snippet.
Sure. Thank you so much, Natalie. Good afternoon, everyone. So at the Department of Geography, right at this point in time, we're primarily involved in looking at research, MPhils, and PhDs. But coming in January, we have a really interesting taught masters. Our first taught masters will be run. And this is really a way to equip students with tools and skills needed to enhance their participation in many of the sustainability and resilience projects and activities that are happening in the region. So it is developed so that students can apply and register for postgrad certificate, and that's will involve 1 semester of courses, or the postgrad diploma, which would be over 2 semesters, or an MSc over 3 semesters. So there's much I could say, so I don't want to take too much time, but I'd ask you to keep watch over our social media platforms to get more information. We will have a flyer coming out soon. So that's in January with the Department of Geography right here at St. Augustine campus.
I'm really glad you mentioned that, because Arnold, Mr. Maniram, I'm so accustomed calling my colleague by his first name. Can you just share with us the fact that, we also have some programs whose deadline is a little later? I know that everybody is looking out for July 30th, because I would have told them that. But we also have a couple programs that the deadline date is in January or a little later down. So can you just share with that when persons can expect to see things online and when they could look out for these things?
Right. So thanks for that question, Nataki. So we do have a January intake for most of our MPhil PhDs and some of our DM programs within the faculty of FMS. That application period would open around September. So we would advise that you check on us regularly, and we'd also be sharing on our social media when that is opening. So most of our MPhil PhDs and DMs, and we do have some taught masters within the Faculty of Food and Agriculture and FSS and Engineering, will also be offered. So if persons are interested in starting in January, they look out on our social media for when those dates would be shared. But the application period usually would run from around September until the end of November for persons who would like to start in January with us.
Thanks so much. And Wari was asking about her references, in terms of if the references, who they have to submit the person's names, if they will get an email to submit their recommendations. She was just wondering what was the process. How do we get the information from the references that we ask them to provide?
Right, certainly. So once the applicant include the referee's email address and submit it, that referee would get an email with a link. And once they click that link, fill in the relevant form and submit it, it goes directly to the person's application where we can view it for processing.
Okay, thanks so much. We also wanted to ask Dr. Nichols, with regards to your particular area, are there any master's programs that you think our prospects may be interested in?
Well, we at the Department of Agriculture and Extension, we have 2 taught master's degrees, one in agricultural economics and agricultural marketing and agribusiness. Now, the marketing and agribusiness, most of the courses are 100%. So you may not have to leave where you are to actually come. But the project would involve you either working in your territory or working, as we say, but a lot of those courses are designed for the students who are working. So a lot of the tuition is done in the afternoon. So we try to accommodate them in that. We also have the diploma in climate resilience in agricultural extension for community development, and that is offered over 3 semesters. Again, for working students, a lot of extensionists, some biologists, some life science people also take that course. So it's offered over 3 semesters, and we encourage people to apply. Again, 100% coursework in those, so that it makes the working person a bit more comfortable, not having to rush to examinations, which they can miss on some occasions because of work. And of course, we have our MPhils and PhDs in Agri-Econ Extension and in Human Ecology. So we offer the full. Once you have that interest, come. As I say, we take you and make you. And that is just our slogan. You know, we can do quite a lot to assist in that in that particular regard. So yes, those in a nutshell are our degrees that we offer, and we welcome the students.
Thanks, Dr. Nichols. I think I might steal your phrase there. We take you and make you. That's a good marketing phrase. Thanks for that. We have our friend here, Majesty, who said she missed parts of what we said with regards to the MSc in Strategic Leadership and Innovation. She understands that it's a fully online course and accessed strictly through coursework with no exams, but she didn't catch the part where we mentioned anything about internship or employment opportunities. Can we just assist Majesty with regards to the MSc in Strategic Leadership and Innovation?
Yes, so just for clarity, there are opportunities for internships in the program where the student can pursue or complete their capstone through an internship experience, not the employment part. It's just a 40 hour not 40 hours. I think it's about 2 weeks internship opportunity, right? Just for clarity.
Thanks very much, Dean. We still have quite a slew of questions here, but we're really impressed with our team because we are answering them as quickly as they come. And we have a question from Ms. Lacroix, although Dr. Maraj had already liaised with her, but her question was, can a part-time MSc student be able to do additional courses from another discipline? She was actually asking this, but we were able to respond to her and tell her that it all depends on the structure of the particular program you are interested in. And, you know, it will all depend on the nature of the respective program. Yeah, persons are asking about fees, they're asking about grants, they're asking all the usual questions that we get from everyone interested in postgraduate education. So don't forget, those of you who came in a little bit late, just scroll up and down the chat. You may very well see some questions that you wanted to find out answered already. You may even see questions that you didn't think to answer already answered in our chat. And just as a reminder, in case some of you did not get the earlier message, we are going to be uploading this recording on our YouTube channel for the latest by Monday, so that you could take your time. Maybe you're driving home, you could listen to it again. You could share it with a friend in case you missed anything. Or you can email us at our several email addresses we have put in the chat. So we are here for a little while again to answer any questions that you may have. We have all our faculties represented here this evening. So you may have a question for a specific faculty. We are able to reply to those specific faculty questions too, because we want you to apply to the University of the West Indies in Augustine before July 30th. So you don't miss that September 2025 start of the semester. We start promptly in September 2025. I see that the questions are slowing down, so we might just be nearly to the end, but we are here for you in case you have anything else you want to ask. I'm going to ask Prof. Sarah if he wants to share any tidbits with our attendees.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Gill. What I wanted to share with all prospects, right? We have the Graduate Studies and Research website, right, where they can find all information. And also there is a link where the list of all postgraduate certificates, diplomas, and MSc programs per faculty-wise given in that link, right? And in addition to that, the application process is also given, and there are instructions how to apply and how to use the CRM portal. In addition to that, suppose if someone wanted to know more about the fee, then there is a postgraduate fee booklet is available online as well. They could also look into it. But what I wanted to be cautious about that, because the fee structures will be different for the different programs, and also based on the nationality of the individuals applying for the programs, and the fee structure will also be varying, because in case of Trinidad nationals or else the Caribbean nationals or else international students, there will be a different structure. So I'm asking them to pay that attention and look into that program fee structure. Then finally, they can reach out to us for further information about their programs. Then all faculties, they have the postgraduate faculty booklet that is also available online. They can check the faculty booklet information if they wanted to know what are the courses that constitute or else that listed in the any program, maybe a postgraduate program, and what are the requirements, and all of that information is available. Thank you.
Thanks, Prof. Sarah. And I'd like to ask Professor Ramlal, I believe you wanted to share some things with our audience.
Yeah, you know, a couple of interesting things. You know, sometimes students may not realize that there are non-traditional ways to get into one of our graduate programs or postgraduate programs. So, for example, we had a student with an MBA, without a bachelor's degree, but an MBA. And because of his years of experience, we allowed him to do a master's degree into informatics. So that don't feel that, you know, and another one had ACCA but was practicing in GIS, and we allowed her to do a master's degree and then, you know, continue studying to do PhD. So that there are non-traditional ways. So that keep that in mind. That's one. And two, a lot of times you would see for admission, you have to have a lower second class honors degree or equivalent. However, in some of our programs, if you graduated more than 2 years prior to when you're applying and you have 2 years of work experience, we will consider you seriously for admission to a program. Just so that you know that it's not the end of the world if you don't graduate with honors. There are possibilities, certainly in the Faculty of Engineering. I think it may apply to other faculties as well. But we are going to treat you on an individual basis and give you an opportunity to pursue study. So just so you know that there are possibilities for that.
Thanks, Prof. I think it's really interesting when people find out about the various pathways to do a program. It's not just one way. We want to help develop our society and our prospects and all their career opportunities. So we have various pathways, and I think that's an important point to bring across. I would like to also ask Dr. Wendy Ann Isaac from our Faculty of Food and Agriculture just to share with us a couple of her insights and programs that she has in her faculty. Dr. Isaac?
Thank you very much, Ms. Nataki, and good afternoon again to everyone. Right, we have quite a number of programs, postgraduate programs in the Department of Food Production in particular. In fact, one of our flagship programs is our postgraduate diploma and also MSc in Food Safety and Quality Assurance. And I saw somebody ask a question about it a little earlier. They were asking in terms of the duration of the program. Now, this is a fully online program, and it is offered for evening students, and it is also 100% coursework material. And there's also a research project that students are required to do as well. And we have had quite an interest of people in the food industry coming into this program, right? And besides that program, the students can also transition into the MPhil and PhD into that same program as well. Now, besides that program, we also have the tropical crop protection for persons working in the Ministry of Agriculture, quarantine officers. They could do the postgraduate diploma and the MSc. I'm going into the MPhil and PhD in tropical crop protection. There's also a postgraduate diploma in pesticide technology and management. This is really a relatively new program for people involved in the pesticide industry, and in agriculture in general. And we have offered it 1 year, and we will be offering it in September in the new academic year. Now we have another very popular program which we started. We will be offering it for the 3rd year. Come September. This is the MSc in Food Security. It's a blended program, but all our courses are afternoon periods between 4 to 8, Monday to Friday, and it's 100% coursework as well. And people in the food industry, yes, but people involved in policy development and in all these different aspects of food, they are welcome to come and join us for this program as well. Now, besides these programs, we have a livestock program. This is a postgraduate diploma and MSc in animal science and production, right? And this is also a 1 to 2 year program. People could finish it between 12 to 15 months, and after this is full time, and then afterwards they could go into the MPhil and to the PhD in livestock science, right? We also have an MPhil in crop science, MPhil in soil science, and an MPhil in tropical earth and environmental science, both MPhil and PhD. So we have, as you see in our Department of Food Production, a slew of different programs, and we have different opportunities for persons after. And we welcome you, and we look forward to hearing and getting your application. Thank you very much.
Thanks much, Dr. Isaac. Nikosi is asking, and this is an interesting question for anyone to answer. I know some persons say not to wait too long to do your master's. Is there a certain amount of time after doing a BSc that UWI will not accept an applicant for a master's program?
Okay, just to respond to that, that is not the case. So we will be accepting the student at any point in time, right? And we are happy to provide any further guidance on this matter, right? Or for this particular candidate. So we accept the student. It doesn't matter, when they have done the undergraduate program, and also to inform the candidates, right? We have a special admissions as well, where the students without a first degree, but at the same time with years of experience, and if they come out with evidence of that experience as well as doing some trainings and the certificates, we consider case by case, and we advise them, and if that is acceptable, we give them the admissions as well. In addition to that, I just take this as an opportunity to inform about our continuing professional education, right? So through continuing professional education, we also offer certificates at different levels. Of course, I have shared that link in the chat box. They can go to that website and they can see. Suppose if someone feel that they have done their undergraduate programs a long time ago and they wanted to just touch base with some of the courses and the certificates before they enroll in the postgraduate programs, they can do 1 or 2 courses or 1 or 2 certificates and get the experience and the knowledge with all of these technologies now with the learning, and then they can come into the program. One last thing, I know the time is running.
Fine, Prof.
So through special admissions, the students can register for the single courses, and they can complete 12 credits, and if that can make a certificate as prescribed and approved by the graduate studies, and even without registering for the certificate with 12 credits, if that aligns within the program, then they can be awarded as the postgraduate certificate as well. We have a lot of agility, flexibility, as we have said, but all of that should be properly guided. And once they have all these requirements, then we will be happy to support them. Thank you.
Thanks much, Prof. Cleopatra is one smart cookie because she decided that she has a panel of experts here with her this evening. So she is going to throw out a possible thesis topic here to see if it could pass. So Cleopatra is one smart cookie, and her question is, for the MSc in Food Science and Technology, could a possible project for a thesis be the startup, developing an idea for a startup? I think Prof. Ramlal tried to start answering her. Can you just provide a response for her? Because as I said, she's a smart one.
Yeah, thanks for the question, and certainly we look at things. We look at the proposals on an individual basis, and if there's enough merit, if there's innovativeness in the proposal, we see something that will really make a difference, we are happy to support it. So that there's no one size fits all. It's really in terms of assessing what you are proposing and then saying, yes, this is important, this is acceptable, let's work with you on this. And in fact, what we do with persons like that, sometimes we will get a course supervisor from industry who can support your effort to make sure that you get that mix that you will need from the researcher and from the industry practitioner to support such efforts. So that what more and more what we are trying to do is to make sure that our students get the best we can offer to go out there and function effectively. These graduate programs are specialization programs that will allow you to function at a higher level. And so whatever needs to happen, I will tell you that we have been changing the way we do business to make sure that when you leave UWI, you leave with a good experience and you become an ambassador for us, because you are the people who are going to best represent the best of us. And that's important for us. That's the value that I hold as Dean of the Faculty of Engineering.
Thanks much, Prof. And Dr. Berg, I'm begging your indulgence again, because we have several persons in the chat who may have come on at different times who are really interested in becoming lecturers. And Denisha may have missed the earlier comment about what she needs to do to become a lecturer in the field of education. Just repeat for them again, please.
Right. So we are saying that there's many courses that you could take through education, through the School of Education, with different concentrations in curriculum development and youth development, early childhood education, etc. But the basic requirement is a PhD in the particular area. And someone had asked an additional question about if they needed additional training. Once you are lecturing, no matter what faculty, you have to have some training in teaching and learning, a postgraduate certificate in teaching and learning. So yes, those are in education. Yeah, a lecture in education.
Thanks so much, Dr. Burke. We have a question from Brian, who's asking in terms of GPA and what is looked at when doing an MPhil. He wants to know about the overall GPA. I think he just wants to find out about our MPhil program. So I'm not sure if Prof. Sarah, if you could give any information on that for Brian.
Okay, so when thanks for asking that question, right? Because really I wanted to give some response here, right? As a director of the graduate studies, right, we treat each and every student at the postgraduate level as a different case, right? So one application, starting from application until the award of the degree, we treat them as a unique case, right? So with respect to this GPA, for MPhil, the students with the undergraduate degree, when they have the 3 GPA, that is the degree GPA, we will consider that, and then we will give the admissions. But in addition to the GPA, what we also look for, the research proposal. Once the research proposal is in a very good shape and it has a greater potential, even the students, if they do not have the required GPA, and the head of the department would make a recommendation, and as the chair of the campus committee for graduate studies and research, based on the potential and experience and the credentials of that candidate, we approve. So I cannot say at this time that we have a blanket recommendation for all of the applicants. Hope that answers. Thank you.
Yes, it does, Prof. Sarah. And someone heard Dr. Burke's response and is asking about lecturing in psychology. So I'm going to ask Dean Cameron if you can provide, I think it was Denisha who was asking, because she wanted to be a lecturer in terms of psychology, and she was asking if it's the same information that Dr. Burke provided, or if is it any different if she wants to do that.
I know that Dr. Descartes has been responding in the chat, but similarly, as in education, to be a lecturer, a main requirement would be the PhD in psychology. So yes.
Yeah, thanks so much. I believe we have answered most, if not all, the questions. I just want Prof. Sarah to just chat as we close off this evening. Any advice you would give to our regional prospects, because we do have some persons here who are out of Trinidad and Tobago and would like to apply for postgraduate education. Any parting words of advice?
Okay, so with respect to postgraduate diploma in education, that's what you mean?
Yes. In case they
Okay.
want to sign up, they're not sure if they could do some classes online, any other requirements, usual issues we may have with persons regionally. Is there any advice or guidance you could give to them?
So with respect to that, right, the candidates or to the prospects, those who are interested can reach out to us, and we will actually liaise with the School of Education or with the respective faculties for their requisite as well as for their requirements, and we will liaise with them. But what I would like to say here for the regional students, we know that we have most of our programs delivered through blended, right? And the research project, if they have the facility to do at their own territory, we can actually facilitate, and we can communicate with the industries or else the relevant ministries, whoever can support the students' research or the candidates' research in their territory. My advice to communicate with the department and communicate with the graduate studies and get the proper guidance and the advice so that you will be successful.
Thanks so much, Prof. Joshua is asking one last question here with regards to an MPhil in FMS. And he is asking, would work experience in the relevant field increase my chances of acceptance if the admissions is competitive? Well, Joshua, I could tell you right away without even anyone responding that admissions is competitive, but I will allow my colleague to also provide some additional information on that question.
Yes, Joshua, I assume that would be me, FMS. It
Yeah.
might be best to probably contact the department directly. They would probably be best to advise you on that specific query. But I would remain hopeful.
Yeah, it is very competitive, but as Doctor said, he remains hopeful. I'm seeing a question here. I can't tell who it's from, but remember that we always have, or we have the chat log. So what we are going to do, our team and the rest of us are going to look at this, all the questions, look at all the questions you've asked. We're going to go through to see, maybe some of you need an email with some additional information. We're going to be reaching out to you. So we have all your information here because we do have a record of our chat log. We have your email addresses. I really am happy that so many of you were able to join us this evening. Postgraduate education, as we've heard from so many experts, is so important for your career, for your development, for research, etc. I'm really happy too that so many of our faculties were here. All our faculties were here represented very, very well, so that we've had questions across the board, a very comprehensive list of questions, all sorts of questions that we've been able to respond to, because we really do want to hear from you. We want to open all our communications channels to make sure that you do have avenues to have your questions answered. You can email. We've left several email addresses, several links in our chat. And as Mr. Maniram said, you can just come through, as we say in local parlance. We're here from 8:30 to 4:30 at the Lloyd Braffett Administration Building, and we'd love to have you here. We have our reps here who are waiting to assist, and we really hope that you make our July 30th deadline date for applications, that is, applications for September 2025. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We know your time is valuable. Thank you for attending our Ask UWI about postgraduate education.
Thanks,